Happy Magical Monday. Our absolutely favorite part of the entire week is Monday. And I happen to be here with my friend Ashley, and we are going to share a Magical Monday a little bit today. I want to introduce you to her. She has been working with me for several years, and I think it's really important sometimes that you see that my clients actually become like deep, close, bonded friends. And one of the things that is so cool for me is actually seeing what transpires as they go through their journey, and they then become healers and they become powerful resources on their own. So it's really like exciting for me to share Ashley with you today. So
yeah, so happy to be here, and it is an absolute honor to have Michelle here in person, like live in real time. And yes, definitely bonded friends, soul sisters for life. I'm just so grateful.
We met in 2020, and through the journey of, she's taken the Mystic Rose program and Theta Healing Spiritual Life Coach, and she's done the intuitive anatomy, whole medical intuitive certification. And what happens is when people work the process, they start changing their lives. They become different people. So it's nice to see somebody with some results. And so we won't go too much further on that right this minute. I know what you're really here for is to hear what's going on in the update this week. And it is humongous. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the astrological powerhouse solar eclipse in Aries. Now, if you've been watching or you've been watching the astrology lately, you'll know that this is actually the second of 2 new moons in Aries, and that's very rare. It is usually just one a year, one moon per astrological sign. So we've been in Aries season since March 20th, and on the equinox we had a spring equinox, first degree of Aries new moon. So what happens is this will be in the last 10 minutes of Aries, at the last degree of Aries, on either the 20th or the 19th. So in the Eastern time zone, it will be at 12:12 a.m. is the solar eclipse. So it's on the middle of the night of the 19th and 20th. If you happen to be in Central Time or, Pacific Time, you're going to get the eclipse and the new moon on the late night for you, and then on the 19th. So if you're going to be doing your work, and by work I feel like you're already in the eclipse portal right now. We're doing this on Monday night. You might be watching this on Tuesday or Wednesday, but you're in the deep eclipse portal, which means for 3 days prior to that Wednesday night at around midnight, Thursday morning time frame, you are in the disseminating and dark moon. The moon is at its darkest. And this particular eclipse has a ring of fire. It's very unique in that it has this 3 different phases to it. It actually is rare that you have all 3 different kinds of lunations through the eclipse cycle. And if you want to read more about that, go read someone who's talking about how these phases go through. But the fact is that because it's in this last lunation, the last degree, and it's the second one, this is the ending. There's a karmic ending when you have the last degree of a sign. So on this day, it will be, what are you karmically ending? The only way you're going to ever have a new beginning is if you actually close the chapter. And I'm kind of looking at it as if you're living a trilogy, right? And you've got to close the second book. And I feel like that's what we're doing right now, is we are closing this liminal in between that we've been in the middle of from Piscean age into the Aquarian age. So what karmic releases do you need to do? I will do a burn ceremony for sure on Wednesday, which means I will be releasing what I need to let go of. I've been doing a lot of forgiveness work. I've been doing a lot of acceptance work. I've been doing a lot of soul contract work, both with myself and with my clients. So if that's something you need, please let me know. And Ash is actually trained to do that as well. So if you need help, this is a good time for connecting for a soul session. I've been opening up my calendar and having just an amazing time. Whatever needs to be ended to create a new beginning, this now is the time, and the time is karmically right now. But what's beautiful about it is it's divine grace. When we come into divine grace, it means we can do forgiveness for whole lifetimes, for genetic lines, for souls that have been ready to learn the lessons. This is how we shut a chapter, and that could be a whole chapter in human history, which is what we're doing on a consciousness and a world level, all the way down to a chapter on a family line piece, and also in where do you want to just end something in your own life and begin something new. So then the way I like to do it is on that day, on Wednesday and up to Wednesday, it's release work. And then from Thursday all the way through the weekend, you've got one of the most potent, powerful new moons you're ever going to see. So this is like, what are you bringing into the new earth? What are you bringing into your reality? What are you going to claim as your birthright? And so if you're ready to do that, the stepping in is now. And those, so the letting go and stepping in work is simultaneous. New endings, new beginnings, and completion of a cycle, opening of a cycle. It's very much, because it's in Aries, a phoenix rising, but it moves into Taurus like 10 minutes later. So as soon as you finish that eclipse, you move into the Taurian energy that then makes us solidified in that it's Venus and home and love and rebirth, and not really so much even rebirth as full having. So you get to step right into that Taurus juicy season. Now, the other thing that's happening is you're going to start your Mercury retrograde. So it's a Mercury retrograde in Taurus. So it's going to ask you to reevaluate your relationships. You're going to possibly feel like you need to reevaluate your home and work situations, and possibly even like what you eat and what brings you pleasure. And so you're going to see a lot of people reevaluating their bedroom, their sex life too. So relationship, and for me, I think it's a re-strengthening, like not necessarily letting something go, but actually the ability to really build in to a new way, and to clarify and be careful on that communication with each other, right? Don't, I don't know, what do you say? This is not the time to have a big fight. This is the time to sit down and communicate.
With divine grace.
With divine grace.
Yeah.
It's a great time for conversations about maybe your relationship hasn't gone the way you wanted it to, or it's strayed away. It's a perfect time for reconnection, because when you're in retrogrades, think our words: reconnection, remembrance. Remember why you're in the relationship and who you fell in love with, and that could include your own body, right? Remember what it is you love about your home, and rekindle that.
Love that. I love that. And falling back in love with life, like
Yes.
instead of the forgive more or forgive deeper, love more.
Love more.
Love deeper. How can I love more today?
We were just I was just at a conference with Marissa in Kansas City. It was Women Rising, and it was at the Unity Center in Kansas City. And the whole day was about that remembrance and connecting to love and connecting to the true essence of your soul. And I really think that's the karmic lesson right now is we have the ability to be love, like embrace it, to physically incarnate as it. And it was really, I got to walk the labyrinth there. It's one of the largest labyrinth, brand new labyrinth built during the COVID shutdown, infused with love. I got to sit in the Myrtle's grove. She had this 14 circle of trees into this grove for meditation. Basically, the idea here is heal internally. Meditate and think before you speak right now. That, like, if I have one piece of information for the Taurus Mercury retrograde is be clear on what you want to say to someone. If you can't say it with love, maybe think about waiting to say it. Just walk away or sit down and write out how you want to say it. But it's hard to take back words. And if you can't be kind, then maybe it isn't the best time to have the conversation. So you wait 3 weeks if you have to. You know, that's just how I see it right now. But it is a time of growth. Like, there's a lot of growth going on, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for manifestation. If you're wanting to do some of this work together, we have two times a month we meet for a moon circle for manifesting. So if you want to be part of Magical Moons, and you want to be in on the activation for this solar eclipse, we'll have our call on Wednesday. So it's a perfect time to set up for the moon circle. We will also be doing an activation. Just to look ahead, 555 is coming, and there's a lunar eclipse to go with the 555. So there's a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. It's the 5th of May, and this year being a 5, if you add the 23 together, it's the 555 portal. And so it will end this cycle that really started at the equinox, that the big portal will sort of cap out at that full moon. So the liminal in between will be from the solar eclipse to the lunar eclipse. There's always this time in between times. And so be gentle, understand that there's grace. While you're giving other people grace, give yourself grace. While you're looking at what is going on for a loved one, remember they're getting eclipsed too. Literally every car on the street, if you're, instead of yelling at that car that cuts you off, remember they're going somewhere and that they are being eclipsed. Basically, the entire planet is going to feel the effects of the intensity. And that's when we're in an eclipse, right? Do you feel it intense?
Yeah. People are kind of like, what's going on? I'm like, but also the good news is it's only as bad as we allow it to be, or we think it is.
Absolutely.
Perception, right?
Perception. And I actually did this technique that I'm going to share with you. I had a moment. I was at this conference and it was super early. I had been driving a lot. A lot of short nights, a lot of spending the night before hanging out with friends and talking too long, a lot of driving, a lot of lack of sleep. And I woke up for this conference a little bit tired. and maybe just a little bit cranky. And I didn't mean to be cranky. It's that lack of sleep, lack of rest kind of cranky. And I felt out of sorts when I'd set up my table and I was like just trying to get right with myself. And something happened and I wanted to be, I don't know, not nice. I was like, that's not who I want to be. That's not how I'm going to choose to have today. And I recentered. I just took a couple deep breaths. I went up and I asked for help, which is, if you know me, really hard to do. So I walked up to one of my sisters. So thank you, Beth and Alara. I was like, I'm feeling out of sorts. What can I do to get myself right? And they actually brought out some Bloom rose oil and put rose oil on my heart and just helped me recenter. I literally took the 10 breaths that I ask every client to do. And I asked, who do I want to be in this situation? And I was like, well, I want to be love. I want to be magical Michelle. I'm going to get back into who I know I'm to be. And I like put my rose oil on my hands and I smelled it and I breathed and I relaxed my neck and shoulders and I placed my hands on my heart and I actually took a 2-minute meditation of just closing my eyes and breathing in. I breathe in love and exhale love. Breathe in love, exhale love. And I set a timer because 2 minutes with your eyes closed, breathing in and out tells your nervous system, tells your actual body it can reset and it is safe. So even if you can't say I am love, you can tell yourself I am safe. So in this case, I already felt safe, but if it was a worse situation, you could say I'm safe, everything's okay, I'll be all right, and telling your body it's safe. In this case, I told my body I am love because I am love and I wanted to be love and I wanted to embody love and I wanted to share love with all these absolutely stunning women. And it turned out to be literally like one of the best days I've had in years. So thank you very much, everybody at the Women Rising conference. Thank you, Rima. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everyone that put that conference on. I am just so grateful. But also, it was a choice. And so that's where I'm going to say you get to have a choice. You get to choose your state of being. And it is that easy to reset your nervous system. I have a 5-minute meditation you can watch on my YouTube channel, which is called Connect to Love. It's also meant to do exactly that. So if you can't do it for yourself and you want a little energy healing, you can go do that. If you need help at any time, you can reach out and get a soul session or a session with Ashley or another theta healer or your massage therapist, or don't feel like you have to do eclipse season alone, because this is the beginning of eclipse season. I promise you, if you do the work right now and the play right now of leaning into karmic grace, deep radical forgiveness, deep radical love, deep radical transformation, you can be a different person in less than those 2 weeks. By 5/5/5, you'll be ready to activate everything and anything you've got going on, but you have to make that as a concise choice. So there's a couple of ways you can be able to do that. You can get it yourself, or you can go through the process of, sharing it with another person. I get sessions. Don't think that a healer doesn't get sessions. That's the one thing I know about every high-end healer, every high-end coach, every high-end person. They invest in their transformation. So put a little bit aside, or sometimes it's just asking. And so extreme self-care. This is the time, right? Yeah. This is the time for extreme self-care, right?
That's why I got some extra sessions with her this month. I don't mind sharing. I really wanted to jumpstart, get ahead of it. And it works. It really does.
But on top of it, it's also a really good time for you to make a choice. Like, this is it. And we've been waiting for this. We've been preparing for this. And so let's just do a little energy shifting for you. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that love is coming into every cell of your body. Just on your in-breath, I want you to imagine that your breath is receiving, and practice opening up to receiving to love. Love is coming into your cells and shifting your energy from worry, fear, concern, not good enough, whatever you've got going on in your world, stress, release, anger, whatever, and exhale anything that isn't serving you anymore. Just release that. We're going to do this 3 times. Inhale love and exhale love. And inhale love and exhale love. And bring that energy all the way around you, wrap it around you like a ball of light, your inside love. And then I want you to send that love out. We're going to send it out to every person on this planet, and see this planet engulfed in a ray of love and light all the way around the planet and into the hearts and the bodies of everyone here. And we're going to bring that love that we're sending out into our own bodies, because I am love and so are you. And then bring that love in and then send it out. I am love and so are you. And bring the love in. I am love and so are you. I am love and so are you. In and out like the tide. And just feel how I've got shivers all over my body right now from feeling your love coming at me. So I hope you can feel our love coming toward you and the collective. Because when we work as a collective in this field, the field of love, the field of miracles, we're going to change the world. We already are. I'm very convinced we've already reached the tipping point of no return, of moving the world toward the level of love. No matter what illusion is out there that the world is going crazy, there is already more love in the world than there was a year ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. We are making the difference into New Earth, and you're part of it. So remember that you are divine, you are love, you are loved, and this is your birthright. And don't get caught up in the craziness that may be around you as everybody's going through transformation at the same time. Choose love through the whole process. And again, if you feel like you can't do it alone, get into a circle. When people gather, there's healing. So go to your local circle, or like I said, there's a moon circle that we do here online that you could do from anywhere in the world. There's recordings of it. There's sessions, whatever you need. Make sure that you ask for it. Make sure you remember that you're deserving of it and that you claim it for yourself. And just take really good care of yourself this week. And remember, I love you. I love you very, very much. And live magically. You have any last words?
Yes. Thank you all for having me. Thank you, Michelle, for having me. For anybody who's local to my area, I'm in the Destin, Florida area, and if anybody's passing through, shoot me a message, say hi. I am actually going to be starting a local circle in person.
Yes.
For my friends who are, to gather and bring in and release. So that'll be coming up. More
Something
info.
In person.
Yes, more info on that soon. And I am doing a crystal workshop coming up in Jacksonville with the amazing Leona Douglas of Empowering Wellness.
What date is that?
It is May 20th. We will be doing a crystal vision viewing circle and take everybody on a journey. Everyone will receive a healing. You will have the opportunity to purchase crystals and even get your own special piece of jewelry commissioned by an amazingly talented jewelry artist. So there will be a link coming with that below. But thank you again so much for having me.
So if you're any chance, the crystals that I use a lot of her crystals. For the magic boxes, we buy crystals from Ashley to put into the magic boxes all the time, and they're beautiful, they're blessed, they're well chosen, high vibrational crystals. So I can't say enough about them. And basically putting Leona and Ashley together is like creating a powerhouse. So if you're in the area, that would be an amazing event, or will be an amazing event.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun.
So take good care of yourself. Remember that you are love, and we'll see you again next week.